A podcast to honor the gods.
This better come with a sacrifice.
Dave X Media.
Harry was a hero in the Gryffindor common room that night. Daringly, Fred and George had put an enlargement charm on the front cover of the Quibbler, and it hung on the wall so that Harry's giant head gazed down upon the proceedings, occasionally saying things like, "Eat dung, Umbridge," in a booming voice. Welcome to the restricted section of very pro-trans rights Harry Potter slander Harry Potter book club podcast. If you haven't done the reading, don't worry, we did it for you. Here's what we're talking about this week. Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, Chapter 26, Seen and Unforeseen. It's another miscellaneous chapter. It's almost like there's perhaps like one too many things going on in this book. But Harry's article by Rita Skeeter in the Quibbler comes out, and it's all anyone can talk about, even though it's immediately banned. Cho likes Harry again, I guess. Harry makes some progress in occlumency, but not like forward progress. It's more like weird sideways progress, but that's better than he usually does, I suppose. And finally, when Umbridge tries to throw Trelawney out on the street, Dumbledore shows up to put the bitch in her place. Did anybody listen to yesterday's episode?
Not yet. Was that the one you were telling me about where you did a baby voice for 10 minutes to conceal the fact that you had a cold?
Haley?
Yeah.
Haley? I don't have any regrets. It was really funny.
No regrets?
I fucking went for it, and it worked out, guys.
Andrew, you're muted.
Oh.
It's cool. You can stay that way for the episode if you want to.
Too late.
Fans divided evenly on whether it was an improvement or a reduction of overall quality to have Andrew just be muted the entire episode.
The energy is great already.
All right, people, let's get it going.
3 mugs deep. 3 mugs deep. We're doing great.
Was Andrew drunk? No, we don't need that. We don't
know. We're good. He's our control.
Standard issue is about what you want with him. If you start getting too much more...
Awful state of affairs. Andrew is our control.
We're good.
Wait, we've done the... Oh, no, I remember it was... Haley, you and me and Brooke were doing a bonus episode, and Andrew had, like, his power was out or something randomly, and he couldn't come, and we kept being like, if Andrew were here, everything would be good and balanced.
We tried to...
Well, because one of the episodes was trivia, and Brooke kept being like, really? And I was like, Andrew was supposed to be here as like an in the middle.
I remember that. Oh, I do remember that. Oh, no.
Andrew's supposed to try really hard and be really mad at himself and do okay.
You do a really good job, Tina, of balancing the, like, guests and cast on each episode. And the only downside to that is if one person can't make it, then all of a sudden the math is off.
Well, this was mathematically planned, the two of you being on this episode. I guess we've just started the episode. Hey guys, welcome to the restricted section. We're writing a book translating the mad things girls do so boys can understand them. However, we will not be writing a book about the mad things boys do so girls can understand them. Just bail, sister. And our non-binary friends, they already know what's up. They don't need a book. I'm your host, Christina. My co-host today is the Quibbler himself, Andrew. Say hello to the listeners, Andrew.
Hello.
And my other co-host today is investigative journalist Haley. Say hello to the listeners, Haley.
Hello, listeners. I'm still giggling over Andrew being the Quibbler because accurate.
It's like a Batman villain.
I just know I have to bring in all the strength of facts that I've gathered from listening to Alex Jones via Knowledge Fight, and I'm just really going to bring the facts, just the honest media.
Oh, yeah.
True, non-biased
cool, you did that
journalism.
thing where you bring us down and also reference something that I don't really understand within the first 30 seconds of the pod, and I think that's an all-time record. Congratulations, Andrew.
It's important to have dreams. Dreams and goals are what drive people.
Especially when you accomplish them within 30 seconds.
We don't have a guest today because we don't need no guest. We can buy ourselves flowers. You know, we can write our name in the sand. We don't need no guest. I'm here with my pals, Andrew and Haley.
Our guest is the 6 margaritas that Tina and I had between ourselves before coming on today. Hi, everyone.
Haley, are you drinking anything presently?
Water. I'm hydrating now.
No, good for you.
I am smoking, though.
I'm drinking Bush, so I'm also hydrating. Oh, Haley, I didn't tell you. I told Andrew, but Haley, I had like a weird attack on my walk home.
Oh?
Yeah, it felt like an anxiety attack, but it mostly just felt like I was walking and I was like, God, I feel weird. And I was like, do I have like a fatigue disorder that I forgot? Because that's like what it felt like. It felt like I went like 1 block too far. You know what I mean? But then I still had like 3 blocks to go because it's really not a far. It's like a 6 block walk. But anyway, my heart was like racing and I had to like cut it down to like half time. And then when I got home, I like laid down on the couch and Sean was like, did you not read my text that said nachos? And I was like, I literally can't even nacho right now.
When you're not in a state to nacho, you're in a bad state.
My apologies to Sean for us not getting his nachos. Damn. But that sounds awful. I'm so sorry.
No. Sean had made nachos.
Oh, okay. I thought he was requesting nachos.
No. He had made nachos and he was like, why did you lay down knowing that there's nachos? And I was like, I am
concerned for you as your husband. I told you there were nachos and you didn't approach them immediately.
They were kind of weird anyway. He made them with some like leftover wonton filling that we had. And
How dare you, that sounds delicious.
She said, checking over her shoulder to make sure he's
I
not
saw
listening.
that.
I'm not going to not eat them because they're nachos, but like maybe not like the most well executed like Asian fusion nacho.
He did his best.
You don't know until you explore, okay? You don't know until you try and experiment.
Well, that's why I usually do the cooking. Andrew, are you drinking or just drinking water?
I'm drinking water and I've got a stiff diet Dr. Pepper.
Oh, Dr. Pepper's stiff right now? That's inappropriate. You can get him in trouble for that.
A lot of our listeners are underage, or so I am told.
That can't be right.
I think it's some of them, at least some of them.
That's not my responsibility.
Hey,
we marked this shit explicit. Yeah, that's not I take zero responsibility for any of the children.
Look, children, if you're hitting whatever button you need to hit to say, I'm 18, I can listen to this, you're carrying on a great and proud internet tradition. Well done, you.
Hear, hear.
You didn't hear that from me, though.
You guys ever go to like a brewery website and it's like, are you 21 or over? And you're 30 years old and you hit yes, but like deep down inside, you still feel like you're doing something wrong.
Oh yeah, no, it's like whenever there's a snow day, I'm like, yay, snow day. You're 31.
And then you're like,
yay, snow day.
I work from home. Okay, before we get into the episode, we're in the episode. Before we get into the chapter, literally today. Wait, is that right? Hold on, I have to fact check it. Today, I'm just going to keep saying today until I fact check it. Today. No, it's not.
Not today. On a day, today is not.
It's 4 days from today, but today is close enough.
That's not super close.
It's 4 days from today, but we don't have another episode for 7 days, Andrew.
4 days from today that we're recording this, 4 days from today that this airs.
From when it airs.
Okay. Just clarifying.
This is going really well already.
This is going great, guys. We got this.
3 marks deep. Andrew's our control.
Shut up. It's our 3-year anniversary.
Woo!
Or is it our 3rd birthday? What's the vibe? Is it a birthday or an anniversary?
Well, it's the pod's birthday, and it's our anniversary as a podcasting network, I guess? I don't know. It can be
I'll
both.
allow it.
All right.
So it's the restricted section's 3rd birthday.
Woo!
Woo!
That means she's entering her sassy era. She knows enough to like really give it back to you now. You know what I mean? She's like, I thought Aunt Mary said that you weren't allowed to have cashews. Once I got called out by a baby, I was babysitting Brady Cashew.
I was going to say, that is an oddly specific thing to accuse a toddler of accusing you of.
Were they salted?
They of course they were salted. And the baby was really salty too. They kept their cashews like up above the stove. I'm like, I'm a babysitter. I'm allowed to eat whatever I want. And I got them down and I was eating them. And then the parents got home and they were like, hey, sweetie, hey, hi, how are you doing? And she just said, Christina ate a cashew.
Snitches get stitches.
I think I literally was like, oh my God, you tattletale. I was friends with the parents. It's fine.
Amazing.
When Sean first propositioned me, I had to borrow one of their disposable razors to shave my legs so I could go have sex with him that evening after babysitting. So you could say we're tight.
They play an important role in your history, even if they don't
It's
know
true.
it.
It's true. No, I've definitely told them. I was like, I stole your razor for this reason. And they're like, oh my God, we love Sean. That's amazing.
We're going to get this framed.
A shadow box of the razor.
Disgusting. As you know, we've recently hit 100,000 downloads, which is a very exciting milestone as well. I know that a lot of other podcasts have a lot more downloads, but the fact that this show is just me and my friends bullshitting and people listen to it 100,000 times is downright unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's a number that just doesn't sound real, right? Like it doesn't it's so abstract, like 100,000 people.
Like I can imagine probably like up to a couple thousand, but beyond like 10,000, I don't know what we're talking about anymore.
Yeah, like I'm convinced that that there's at least a couple of people that I know do rewatches, and I feel like y'all are doing more re-listens than you claim to. That's got to account for some of this.
Well, to put it into perspective, like if you get a large college stadium, right? Like think of like a really big college football stadium.
Is that big?
Oh, no.
I don't go to sports. You're talking to it's not the right audience.
How about this? Like if you think of like FedEx Field, where the Washington
I've been there
for
team. I think I went to FedEx Field for some kind of concert. Maybe is that right?
That would be they do those there. Yeah, okay. They do those there. So that stadium, if I'm correct, is going to be between like 60 and 80,000 people.
Okay, so really, how many Super Bowl? How many
more
Super Bowl?
listens? That Super Bowl stadium would be another one that would be less than 100,000 people. So you had more people listen to your podcast than would fill the entire... Well, you've had more listens than, like, if each person at the Super Bowl got one listen.
It was only 25,000. So if everyone at the Super Bowl listened to 4 episodes of our podcast...
Yeah.
We wouldn't blame you. It was pretty rough in the beginning.
Just like, good for you. The way that he's trying to like...
But hey, if you stuck around this long, thanks, and also, are you okay? From the bottom of my heart, are you okay?
Well, I have this note here that says, play a clip from the first episode, damn it, at myself. And I think I meant to have that set up so I could play for you guys a clip from the first episode, but I don't have that prepared.
Don't do that.
So I'm going to put it in here.
Okay, quick. On 3, everyone say if you like Dumbledore or Gandalf more. 1, 2, 3.
Dumbledore.
Okay, and oh my God, what a crazy clip that was to reflect on.
Oh, the audio quality.
It was bad, I can say, without having listened to it recently.
All right, this is what we'll
know.
do. Let's
What?
record each of us saying 2 different lines at the same time, and then you two can record yourselves a third time, and we'll play that all at once, and it'll be just like there's 8 people sitting around a table again.
Okay, no, that's so much.
This
No,
is
I'll
my
just play
mic
the clip.
impression!
If you're a huge fan of Harry Potter, there's a really good movie that came out in the 90s I think really helps solidify and create that vibe if you're reading right now. A lot of fantasy and a lot about empowerment, female empowerment. Check it out. You might find it on Netflix or wherever. Spice World.
Wait, but also, this is my Mike impression. It's like, what? Andrew and Mike both are mumblers / screamers, which is, let me tell you, a fucking nightmare.
Factually incorrect. This is my Brooke impression. Here's the thing.
Generally incorrect because he did not find out about the Horcruxes until much later.
Brooke, I love you so much.
Okay, who else do we need to do an impression of?
MC?
I'll do Mary Clay.
Wait, shouldn't I do Mary Clay? I sound like Mary Clay.
Shut up.
All right.
No, you don't.
No,
you don't.
shut
you
up.
literally don't have the air to be Mary Clay. I got it.
36, but last year at 37.
She starts a lot of sentences with no, even though she means yes. It's mystifying.
We all say yeah, no, yeah, and no, yeah, no, so we can't talk shit.
Okay, Haley, you have to do your Christina impression.
My Christina impression? What would even be my Christina impression? I just love friendship so much already, and like being around other people. I love friends, and I love having people around me all of the time, and I can't stand silence.
Dante, buddy, my cat is on the table.
What would be my Christina impression? I don't even know what you're talking about.
I feel attacked, but in a loving way.
You literally asked for it.
You did.
Do we? Okay, wait. Who wants to do Grace? I kind of want to maybe hear Andrew do Grace.
Andrew.
I don't see. I can't.
It's funny if it's you because all you have to do is be like,
Just be so painfully polite.
Incredibly polite in a way that I just don't know if I'm comfortable doing because she's just lovely and like I really just I don't know.
Sorry.
I don't see. I don't think.
no, you actually did great. Grace is like, I'm so sorry. I'm probably wrong, but I actually
You've
know
actually
exactly
been
the right answer.
You've actually been doing this wrong for years, and it's totally fine. But I was just wondering if you know that you've been doing this wrong for literally years.
Wait. My real Grace impression was 30 minutes ago when I was walking home from Poncho's, almost fainting in the streets because of the tequila I had drank.
We can't hold that against her. We can't hold that against her. They were gigantes. She wasn't prepared.
Okay, we have to do Mary Payton now too, which Mary Payton's hard because she is so neutral.
She's so neutral and so ready for everything.
Unless she's like, oh, she would be honored to hear that, I think. Unless she's like attacking you. Sometimes she's like so earnest, and then sometimes she's like, wow, wah, 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 Scorpio, wah, 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 wah. You know, whatever Scorpios say. I'm not very good at it.
Better to be a villain who has conviction than it is to just be a blob that floats through the plot.
Okay, do we do all the... Oh, no, we have to do a Haley impression and Andrew impression.
Oh, shit.
Which one do I want to do, and then which one do I want to make somebody else do?
Well, I mean, you can't make me do the me impression. Come on.
No, but I could do the you impression, and then I could make you do the Andrew impression.
That is true.
Fair.
Oh, we forgot Leila, too. Okay, maybe there's too many hosts on our show.
Wait, none of us can sing.
You don't have to sing. It's just like, oh my God, I love this movie. Right? That was my Leila impression.
But you got to do
She's
it
a
with
better singer,
an
though.
incredibly large smile on your face the entire time.
Maybe this time. You know, anybody? Cabaret? No?
None of us can do that.
Okay.
None of us were in theater for long enough.
Jazz.
Okay, I'm going to do my Andrew impression.
Go for it.
Well, now, that reminds me of a funny story. It must have been 10 years ago. Well, maybe it was 11 years ago because I remember that I was wearing a polo that I outgrew 10 years ago. So it must have been 11 years ago. And, just go on from there. No, you actually don't do that thing where you try to narrow down exactly what the date was at the beginning of the story. That's a huge pet peeve of mine. And Andrew, you actually don't do that, and I'm grateful.
Deeply in love with the description of Hagrid's feet in their leather boots were like baby dolphins.
Oh, yeah.
Because that simultaneously paints such a picture and paints no picture at all.
Like, do you know?
It shows that those boots serve a porpoise.
Oh my god.
Andrew, you have been voted off the island.
I was going to say, my thing that I do that's a pet peeve of yours is that I wait and I carry the story on until the last details, but then I keep going with the details until I'm actively stopped in case, like, the details, like, re-strike the joke. Okay. That's the thing that I do that you don't. Because, like, I'll take the joke and then I'll drag the joke. Right, see, yes,
okay.
It was an impression of myself.
Andrew, congratulations. You now have to do a Haley impression.
Go for it.
I don't think that it's fair to ask me to do a Haley impression. impression because the dictation is very specific and it's something that maybe I have practiced before and maybe I know how to do. But just because I know how to do it doesn't mean that I do it. So there.
Okay, cool. So we're
Well
well done. We're also almost at 150 episodes, y'all.
Oh, damn.
Y'all let you know when the time comes. It's not for a couple weeks yet, but we're out here doing it.
The damn thing.
We're doing it. And to celebrate all of these milestones, our 3rd birthday, 100,000 downloads, and almost 150 episodes, I would like to read a review.
Oh, good.
Y'all know I don't read the good ones because they're boring. Don't stop leaving good reviews. They're boring in a way that tickles my little tummy.
They're boring in a way that isn't funny in audio, but does warm our souls. To be clear.
I actually will read one eventually today. But here's the thing. Part of why I'm so successful in life is because your joke about me, that's my joke now. Congratulations. So we're going to read this bad review on the show. This review, it is a 1-star review from the Washington Sentinel, which, is that a real or a fake publication?
Not a clue.
I can Google it.
I'm way ahead of you. The Washington Sentinels was the football team in the movie The Replacements. What? Keanu Reeves? Keanu!
3 margaritas.
Okay, so it's fake. It's from a fake movie. Okay.
Good.
So this is from the Washington Sentinel. Subject line, this so bad.
Yes. Well said.
No, we're not here to talk about anyone's grammar because the attitude speaks for itself. White adults on woke steroids picking apart a children's book series. Their obsession with the sexuality of fictional teenagers is just gross. They're unfunny and unintelligent. This is perfect example of what a garbage fandom this has become, and the author's name is J.K. Rowling.
Oh, damn, for real?
Dude, I totally forgot her name this whole
shit.
time. That's why I just keep hedging around it. I totally forgot
Oh,
what the name
good.
was.
Oh, thank God. Thank God,
Yeah.
because I thought it was just me.
That's our bad. Like, that's super our bad for never fact-checking it, but we just totally forgot the name, I guess.
Whoopsie dubs. We're just really bad about doing fact-checking, especially, like, mid-episode. Like, we never do that. We think it really disrupts the flow.
Yes.
It's also just because we're unintelligent, you know?
Yeah, we also just, like, don't care. And we're unfunny, so, you know.
I think that we need to apologize because we've been talking about unfunny as if it's a bad thing, and therefore we've offended people who are unfunny like us. So,
like the Washington Sentinel.
Since because of that, I think we need to apologize to unfunny people.
So let's break it down. White adults, that's true. I do my best to diversify this podcast, but it is extremely hard because I'm surrounded by white people, and I'm trying to do better about that every single day.
We're infuriating and we know it.
No, absolutely.
You have never once even considered my idea of bringing in children, so, you know.
Right. That's true. I was like, we had my little brother on the show, and then I was like, oh yeah, he's 25. I'm archaic. I am archaic. Their obsession with the sexuality of fictional teenagers is just gross. And here's the thing. I feel like this comment is the false stereotype, like that queer people are grooming children. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like we're projecting our queerness onto these children when in reality it's just fun to read ships in books.
Yeah, like this is something my dad said like several times when I was growing up, which is that like you are every age that you've ever been. There's like no matter where you are in life, like he would say this most often, I should add, when we were like walking past a flock of geese on a walk in the park, and he would be like, you are every age you've ever been, and right now the 12-year-old in me wants to run through that flock of geese and scatter them.
That's a really cute
story. Like, that's adorable and also true.
Well, I think about this book series specifically, I think that I've mentioned this before, that like I don't recall having any crushes on any of these characters as a child.
Nah.
Like, none of them are for me.
No, not really.
I'm, like, too gay, and there's not enough women representation.
Like, I just remember being, like, the age that these characters are for the most part. And like, it's
I think for us, the books were coming out when we were at almost the exact same age as Harry, right?
like we were a little younger, but like
Which
we
is
caught
exactly
up.
right. A little younger is exactly right.
Yeah, like we caught up kind of like as we grew and as the books were coming out. So like, yeah, rereading them as adults who have like been through high school and all of that bullshit. Yeah, it's fun to think of like, what's the teenage experience actually like in Hogwarts? Because we've been teenagers. It wasn't that long ago.
It actually was a really long time ago.
It was a long time ago, but it doesn't feel like it was that long ago.
I agree.
I still have clear memories.
I think in some, it's like the difference between sexualizing people and allowing people to exist as humans who are often inherently sexual. Yeah. These are like romantic plot lines.
Yeah.
That we're reading. Anyway, we've been defending this too long.
It's
and something that's important to this podcast because we are raunchy and we say a lot of things, but it's like a really important line.
Like,
you know?
I don't even feel compelled to defend myself against somebody who's going to correct us on the author's name because like, oh, okay, so clearly you're mostly upset about the fact that we hate her for sucking.
Exactly. It was really telling.
Yeah.
That last line's really telling because it's not as if it actually seems like we don't know her name.
Well, and in fact, we frequently say her
Just
name.
say it, yeah.
But like
multiple times.
Yeah, mostly the thing that like bothers me and the only reason I even wanted to talk about it at all is just because I've noticed that the brainworms of, oh, nothing can be sexual because anything sexual that could possibly land upon the ears or eyes of anyone under the age of 18 ever is definitely a grooming tactic. That's made it into the LGBT community, and I really need for anyone listening to this to please God understand that, like, people have sex, and it's fine, and it's not that big a deal.
It's really not that big a deal.
And also to the last point as well, we're picking it apart. We did not come into this with that intention. What you're seeing now is the organic effect of realizing that something that we thought was a beloved piece of our childhood, it still is, but it's
because
not
we
what
always are
was,
the people we were when
right.
we were reading it. Yeah.
That's one of the things where that right there just shows that they're disingenuous, because if they actually pay attention, what you find is that this show is us very naturally realizing it sucks.
Yeah. That's why I feel like I want to finish this. Like, everyone all the time is asking me if I'm ready to give up this podcast because I complain about the fandom and the author so much. And like, the only reason I keep doing this podcast is because of the community that I've built around it. Like, that community is so much more valuable to me than this book series ever was for any amount of time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. It's
Absolutely.
it's the last golden egg of the golden goose. The friends we made along the way.
Yeah. Also, I feel like the phrase that the author's name is J.K. Rowling is giving, like, when people would be like, Donald Trump is not my president, and people would be like, he actually technically is. And it's like, that's obviously not what I'm saying.
First of all, that's obviously not what I'm saying. Second of all, what's the first requirement to be the president of the United States of America? You have to be a human person, which I don't consider him, so...
Nor JKR, like, I picture her just like a horrific, like, sandworm.
Oh, I was going with paper cutout, but anyway, chapter 26.
We don't speak of her here. No, we have to read the good one, the good review.
Oh, right.
There's a good one. There's a lot of good ones. Hey, and if one of them isn't yours, go leave one. That would be so meaningful to me. I remember every 4 months to check them, and they make me so happy. Please leave us a review.
And then she sends them to the group chat, and it's delightful. We spend a whole hour, and it always
it's
spawns
a good bonding
at least
experience for the team.
It always spawns at least one running joke. We still talk about how all of the girls are subtly mean to each other.
They're so subtly mean to each other.
It's not subtle. Anyway, the good review.
The bad reviews only make us stronger. Please leave us. Here's what I want from you. I want you guys to leave us a 5-star review and then write like a vividly, viciously critical review to go with it. And I'm going to read that on the show.
Try to make it hurtful. Try to hurt us.
But you have to give us 5 stars.
Get to the thing that you think that we hate about us.
Obviously, you only need 1 star because I read this fucking... So I'm going to read the good one. This is by Six-Winged Bee. Haley, I feel like you'd know this. Is it unusual for a bee to have 6 wings?
I believe
there are usually only 4.
I think that there's usually only the 4. I don't know though. I don't know a lot about bees. I'll be honest.
Okay, all right.
You'll be honest.
Shut up, Andrew.
That's quite enough. This is called Deep Dives and Deep Laughs, and my stupid brain is like, and deep throat. Wink.
Hey!
This podcast hits where it should. A nice deep look at the writing of Harry Potter. Mistakes and praises galore, but at the same time, it's just like listening to my own best friend go on her own tangent about the story. Complete with a raunch level that doesn't make me too uncomfortable. I enjoy being able to listen to dives of my favorite series, but with the comfort that the people who run this podcast don't agree with just a joke rolling.
Hey, that's a good one.
As a trans man, that's important. Especially with a series that has meant so much to me and many others, even now so many years after the main books and movies ended. This is exactly the vibe. It's bad, but we love it. And we love it together. Thank you, Six-Winged Bee.
So now that I've stopped crying in the corner for 30 minutes because I'm so happy, we can continue recording, I guess.
Six-Winged Bee goes on to say some more nice words. Six-Winged Bee, we're glad to have you listening. Washington Sentinel.
You're not still listening.
If you're still here, like, hey, what's up? I'm glad you're listening.
Can I just point out too, if you're going to make your name sound like a fake newspaper, you choose Washington of all the cities to be from?
Yeah, that's the only one I know anything about.
Not New York Sentinel.
Yeah, we're pretty open about the fact that we're from Virginia. You know, it's there, right?
Maybe they were trying to do a proximity threat. They're like, I'm looking at you from only a mere 170 miles away.
Then it backfired because the last person I would be scared of is anyone from fucking DC.
Also, do not threaten me by telling me you're watching me. I will just get so gross. Oh, Jesus.
He's actually super into that.
Monitoring me. Oh, you are fulfilling so many fantasies. Oh,
have you seen?
Sorry, move on.
Have you seen that post that floats around the internet that says you either have a naked neighbor or you are the naked neighbor?
Oh, I am the naked neighbor.
Andrew, are you the naked neighbor or do you have a naked neighbor?
I have closed blinds. I don't look out them, and people don't look in at me.
God damn it, Andrew! Power move. It's a power move.
I have an all blinds open all the time policy in my home, and it is a matter of contention with me and Sean. He's like, it's objectively cold out there, and I'm like, I cannot see without as much light as we could possibly glean from the sun right now.
If my neighbors didn't want to see me strutting around with my full bush out, then they shouldn't have moved into the yuppie-ass fucking condos across the street.
I'm a window neighbor. I'm the naked window neighbor, but I do have a small child who lives next door to me, and they're expecting a second small child, and I'm like, I guess I'll just monitor if they're specifically in the backyard looking at the sky or not, if I'm going to walk around naked.
Shall I strut without the clothes? No, there's a child about.
Listen, if people don't see unsexualized, naked, grown-ass adult bodies, then they turn into those weirdos on TikTok that don't want to age.
I just think it's a polite thing to do for your adult neighbor who is your friend, is to not be intentionally naked in front of their children.
All I ever hear in my head with this whole topic is just Grunkle Stan from Gravity Falls going, "Bodies change, sweetie! Bodies change!" The sooner you accept this, the better off you will be, I promise.
Do you guys think we should talk about Harry Potter?
I'd rather not. Let's just keep going. This is great.
I know, I'm having a really good time. This is so much better than a usual episode. Okay.
Oh
no, I'm going to get us started, but I know we'll get derailed again. Don't worry.
No. Us?
Okay. Chapter 26 of Order of the Phoenix, Seen and Unforeseen. Unforeseen has 3 E's in it. That's kind of a lot, bro.
I don't like it.
Trying way too hard.
It's, yeah, that E with the 4, unforeseen, or forward or whatever, that one always gets me. I'm like, that seems so extra.
You had to give it this title to make it seem more interesting than it really was. This is a very bridgy chapter.
let's circle back to the title at the end of the episode because I do want to talk about it. But after we go through, oh my god, so many pages of notes. Okay, circle back.
Circle, dot. Now I have my cootie shot.
Oh my god, I almost said Andrew needs one of those. I was trying to say, hey, I almost said it again. I almost said Haley instead of Harry. Okay, focus.
You don't know that I'm the main character of the Haley Potter series?
I've made that mistake before. Oh, that's like Harry Porber, but it's like Haley Porber.
Haley Potter is a very different series that resolves very quickly when she simply goes to an adult. That is a very
Haley
different
Potter's like,
series.
I'm not dealing with this. Haley Potter is
absolutely the fuck not.
I'm not dealing with this. Okay, guys, literally. Okay, we start the chapter.
We're doing great.
We start the chapter by reflecting on Harry's interview with Rita Skeeter, which was Sunday evening at dinner. No, they reflect Sunday evening at dinner. Okay, how do we know she's not going to publish slander again? Because I know Hermione has this thing over her, like this blackmail, but like, do you think Hermione like insists on proofreading the article?
I think Hermione just knows how scared Rita is. Like,
confident.
Like, I think Hermione did her homework as usual and is aware of exactly how much trouble Rita would be in for the whole unregistered animagus thing, because it seems to have worked.
Yeah, she demonstrated not just the knowledge of the secret, but the consequences of the secret. And that, like, demonstrating that you know that how much that would affect the person is a much different thing than just being like, I have this, man. You know, so
Yeah, she's not even bluffing. She knows exactly how much fucking trouble Rita would be in.
Yeah.
I feel like Rita Skeeter's perception of herself doing the right thing is like not the same as Hermione's perception of Rita Skeeter doing the right thing. You know what I mean? I think Hermione needs to review
That's
this.
a fair point.
That is a fair point, but and not to like get into way too like but I do think that Hermione knows that Rita's I think Hermione knows that Rita's not going to fuck with Hermione. And I think Hermione knows what Hermione knows that Rita knows what Hermione would think would be fucking.
Oh my god, so many words.
It's getting too many layers.
I mean,
deep.
Hermione has like possessed Rita Skeeter for like a length of time. So like, what if they've had like conversations? What if they've been like chatting and like finding a mutual ground?
I love that idea. I'm not. I don't think it's what's happening here. I think that Hermione and Rita are kind of two ends of the same spectrum of manipulation. I've said before, I'll say again, that diplomacy is just manipulation for other people's good. Mm-hmm. And that's what Hermione can do, but like manipulative recognize manipulative.
Yeah.
So I think she knows exactly what Rita's about. I think Rita, on some level, knows exactly what Hermione's about. And I think that Hermione knows that Rita is, if nothing else, a good storyteller. She knows how to take a premise and an angle and make something compelling out of it. And Hermione is basically, I think what Andrew said is legit. Like, Rita knows what the audience of Hermione would want to hear.
Right.
And is writing to that audience. And I think Hermione's smart enough to know that that's what Rita's going to do.
Yeah.
Another headcanon I have is that Hermione for a time confiscated the quick quotes quill and like trained it like you teach your friend's dog how to sit because they don't train it very good, and like gave it back.
Like one of those chat AI things, like training it to like answer the way that you want it to.
Mm-hmm.
That was a question I had. Like, did Hermione let Rita use the quick quotes quill for this, or did she insist on... Yeah, it's unclear, and I feel like that should have been clear, because the quick quotes quill seems to have a mind of its own there, but we never really learn a whole lot about the mechanics of magic in this, so who fucking knows?
She said
exactly.
With tears pooling at the corners of her eyes.
Those aren't tears, that's rage!
We'll get to that. Hermione asked Harry how his date with Cho went, and like, why were you done with it so quickly? And Harry's like, allow me to tell you.
Okay, thank God, because I've been wondering about this myself.
This is a great opportunity to apologize to everyone for my unhinged behavior in last week's episode. I know that baby voice was divisive. It was like very fun to me. I only had a cold last week, but I was like really medicating myself a lot for it because I just haven't been sick since before COVID, really. And I was like, oh yeah, this is fucking awful. Remind me to never touch another human being as long as I live.
That's so tragic, Tina, because that is your favorite chapter. You love that You've been talking about that chapter for years.
Haley, you told me you haven't listened to it yet. I think it could not have gone better.
Okay.
I think it was such a good episode. I was completely off my rocker. We had Josh from Super Scary, who is a hilarious darling, as always, and Mary Peyton, who I can always count on when we just really need to dig into something. And we were reading the dialogue aloud, line by line.
Yeah, that's earned. I just feel bad that you felt gross during it, you know?
I rallied. I was like, nothing will keep me from this.
Good.
I'm going to succeed in this chapter, if nothing else in my life.
Power through!
But I'm also going to succeed in this chapter.
I'm not sure.
Oh, guys, we have to. Okay, so Hermione is like explaining to Harry. He has no reason to know what he should have done, but Hermione also is like, this is so obvious, and I feel like both are valid perspectives.
Honestly, this chapter is making me kind of like almost want to skim through the last 4 books because I'm starting to wonder, like, is this boy maybe on the autism spectrum, possibly ADHD? Because like this whole thing of like, I don't understand, why don't you just say what you mean? Why all of these hidden meanings and all of these like weird implications? How the fuck am I supposed to know that?
Yeah. I feel like this has been happening more and more this book, where we keep trying to diagnose our characters because they're finally kind of like coming into their adult personalities. So I almost feel like, not that you can diagnose a fictional character, like that's just not something you can realistically do, but I think it would be interesting to get like a real like psychologist or psychiatrist, I can't keep them straight, I don't know which is which, on the show to talk in some real terms about the neurodivergence that might be present in this series that we don't really get to look at because it's a fucking book about magic and everyone's kind of bonkers anyway.
Yeah, like just I was just noting it in this chapter because it has more like social confusion than like usually Harry hangs out with like a couple of safe people. He knows where he stands with Harry, with like Hermione and Ron at all times. And he feels safe with them and he kind of only hangs out with them, but that's also possibly a sign. Like, I have ADHD. I hang out with a lot of the same folks a lot because I know how to read you guys' tells, and I know how to tell
when... And we can read you, Haley.
Yes, and I can tell when you're acting weird, and you can tell when I'm acting weird, and we can kind of power through all of these problems, and it kind of makes a lot of shit about Harry make sense, is all I'm saying.
It's true. Usually when we're acting weird, it's because like, oh my god, I'm so much higher than I expected to be right now.
I think there's also something to be said for, it's kind of a display of Harry, of both Hermione should know by this point that Harry does not have emotional intelligence at all.
That's the thing. Like, I really think she should have prepped him for the date.
Yeah, because like, it's like the same thing with like the emotional, the emotional range of a teaspoon or whatever that she said to Ron. Like, Harry is still in that place, and like he does not understand emotion in the way that it affects other people. So like, I would say that if she really wanted it to go well, she probably should have been like, hey bud, let's go over some ground rules.
Yeah, and we did talk about that extensively in the last episode.
Like, I'm mostly upset with Hermione for like warning him about like, hey bud, are you in like a good headspace to maybe explore your very recent trauma? Because that's happening.
That's what she's trying to do. Yeah.
But no, Andrew, you're very right.
It's a lot of, Hermione's doing a lot of interpretation right now. And she's, in my experience, being a 15-year-old, like, she's completely spot on. She's like, you shouldn't have mentioned me like that. You should have phrased it differently. And, like, I run into, like, these kinds of issues with my lovely, extremely neurodivergent husband, where it's like, I don't understand how this is where you got with the information that was presented to you. But I see that you did, and I'm here to help you. Like, I relate to her really deeply. She's like, listen, you shouldn't have said it like that. This is how she interpreted it. And this is how you should have said it for next time. Like, try to file this information away for next time. She was trying to make you jealous because you were making her feel jealous. So think about that. Also, put that away in your little scrapbook and think about it next time.
Oh, and he's just sitting there like, or she could just say what she means so I could clear this up. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings.
I actually veto this because he's like, if she had just said she fancied me, I could have told her I fancied her back and it would have been fine. I do not believe that Harry Potter, in his current state, can muster the strength to tell Cho Chang that he likes her.
He could do it if she did it first.
Why should she have to put herself out there like that? Like, why on earth?
He just, I think that his phrasing was more like if she just said, hey, do you like Hermione more than me? Which, like, also isn't going to happen, but...
Yeah, that's just not how humans speak to each other.
He does need an opening, though. Just an opening to be able to say, like, hey, by the way, I like you.
We have to stop this. We actually have to stop this because we're talking about last week's chapter, and we talked about it a lot last week.
Well, he's talking about last week's chapter in this chapter, goddammit.
Talking about it now, but there's literally so many other things to talk about. We must move on.
I do love this conversation, though.
Me too. And the fact that, it's like Hermione, what's the phrasing? Her condescendingly helpful voice or whatever. Like, he is offended by how patient she's being.
Yeah.
Which I don't not get that, but, like, you have to just eat that feeling and, like...
It's hard, though, man. Like, she's acting like it's so obvious and it's not.
I think it's obvious, but also I'm 30. When I was 15... I probably would have done the same thing and it wouldn't have felt obvious.
I didn't super get it when, I don't remember getting it when I was that age. I remember feeling a lot of comprehension in this episode.
Yeah, when I was 15, a girl could have handed me a card that says, I like you, and I would have been like, oh, so who is this meant for? And they would have been like, you, and I would have been like, okay, so like...
So you want me to proofread this for you?
Yes, exactly. Like, when I was 15, man, you could have hit me in the head with a hammer called love, and I still would have been lost as fuck. I would have had no fucking clue.
Andrew, I'm thinking, I'm so sorry to the listeners. Andrew and I have had sex before, and I'm thinking about that time. That you were at my house, and I was giving you every clue in the world, and I had to climb on top of you for you to be like, oh.
I speak honestly. Also, Harry Potter was the movie that...
What did you say to me?
Harry Potter was the movie that was on.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I am not kidding you. No, we had just watched Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
I feel like
Sorcerer's Stone is the least horny.
No, I feel like you know that because every time you've brought this up in the past that Andrew hasn't been around, it's been when we were watching Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
That fact existed nowhere in my brain. Oh my god.
We're doing great.
So because of so many people in my life that just don't get hints, it's good when you feel confident to be like, hey, I like you. I'm feeling this. Are you feeling this? May I proceed?
Carly Rae Jepsen has a whole song about it. You should definitely check it out. It helped me a lot.
What song is it?
I really, 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 really like you. Do you want
That's the name of the song?
Well, no, the song is, I think, just I really like you. But
okay.
That is the chorus.
That's the chorus.
That's cute, and I love it. Okay.
Tom Hanks is in the music video.
This is kind of like...
What?
Not kidding.
Why is he in the music video?
His daughter's a Carly Rae Jepsen fan, so he was like, I'll do the music video, sure. I swear to God. The music video is Tom Hanks walking around having a pleasant day. It's great.
Oh my God, isn't that the reason Michael Gambon played Dumbledore's because his grandson was like, these books are dope, Grandpa. Yep. And he was like, I'm not going to read them though.
So Michael Gambon became Dumbledore and Tom Hanks became the lead character of Carly Rae Jepsen's music video for roughly the same reason.
Oh my God,
Small
guys, I don't think
world.
I've laughed so hard in all my life.
At least not until the last time we had this many margaritas.
Okay. Enter Ronald Weasley. He's really bad at Quidditch, guys.
The sad sack.
And Ginny Weasley, she's here to corroborate that statement.
She's here to corroborate it. Hold on. I'm trying to remember what exactly gets said. I don't know. They're talking about how bad Ron is, and they're like, Angelina won't let him quit the team, and Harry's like, that's nice of her. Might be nicer if she just let him go.
Well, and he treats it almost reads like talking about an animal that needs to be put down. It's like, it's really sad. It's like, it's great that she's letting him hang in there, but he's in a lot of pain right now.
It reminds me of, I'm watching The Last of Us right now, which is a zombie TV show. And, in zombie TV shows, sometimes people got to shoot people they know in the head. Mm-hmm. And it's like, just let him go. Like, just, you have the strength to let him go.
Yep. Like, outwardly, Harry's being, like, irritable with Ron for, like, having low confidence in himself, too. Which complicates the issue for Ron, one imagines. Like, well, she won't let you quit because you're really good when you are doing things right.
Well, I think it's Fred, is like, he's really good when he thinks nobody's looking, so we just need to get everyone in the stadium to turn around and talk amongst themselves.
And like, look, as the person who has many times in my life been the friend with anxiety that other people are trying to, like, if I just throw you in the deep end, surely you'll figure it out. Many a time has this happened. Surely you will float and swim. No, I won't. I'm mostly bones. There's nothing keeping me up.
There is no buoyancy here, sir.
There truly is not. There are disadvantages, many in fact. And, you end up in this situation where your much stronger-willed friend is absolutely determined that you will figure this out, and you just couldn't disagree more. And it's just it's a rock and a hard place.
Are you talking about you and me, Haley?
I'm talking about me and everyone I've ever met. I'm not talking about you and me, but I'm also talking about me and Willow and me and Emma and me and my mother and me and many of my friends in high school, middle school, and elementary school. There were 3 elementary schools.
Every woman in your life is more strong-willed than you because you're so mildly willed.
Yes, that's true. I fill a niche, goddammit.
In the ecosystem, Haley found her place.
Is it not a niche that needs filling? Someone has to be here and weird.
Earlier today at Happy Hour, Haley was talking about how she has social anxiety and she hides in plain sight by being in the middle of a city.
I mean, it worked.
It did work.
If you lived in a small town, everyone would know you and therefore acknowledge you. You live in a city just large enough
nobody
that
knows
no one's going to give a fuck about
except the 2 of us, and I think Sean, but only because we've trained him to be able to recognize your face
in case of emergency. And this is why I think Laura's nuts for moving to the woods. They should go to a city.
We're talking about my friend Laura. Oh my god, shout out to Laura, who definitely doesn't listen to this podcast. Anyway, okay, before we move on to the actual Quidditch match, the last noteworthy thing about the pre-match talk is that Fred and George mention that without playing Quidditch, they don't even really want to be here. That probably won't come up again.
Yep.
I'm going to put this rifle right above the fireplace, right where it's nice and warm.
It's visible, but for no particular reason. Don't pay any attention. I do also
Don't worry about it.
I do also like just Hermione casually spilling tea on everybody in this chapter.
What's she saying?
Like, fucking Ginny wanders off, and Fred and George are like, I'm not sure when she got this good, actually. We didn't make her this good. And then Hermione, without looking up from a book, is just like, oh yeah, she's been stealing all of your brooms since the age of 6 and practicing on her own. And they're like, oh, okay, well, that makes sense.
And honestly, like, thank God, because what if she hadn't done that, and because she was the youngest of 7 and the only girl, she, like, never got the opportunity to learn to be athletic like her family, even though she had a natural talent.
She was left alone at home when everyone else was at school. What the fuck else was she gonna do?
True, exactly. Yeah. Wow, that's really true. I'm still just butthurt that my brothers were raised to be athletic and I was raised to be nice.
Being nice is athletic. It gives your facial muscles so much of a workout.
Okay, so the Quidditch match is bad. We don't even get to see it. It's a summary only. They lose in 22 minutes, and it's so bad that they lose in 22 minutes, including Ginny catching the snitch.
Yeah. So
Yikes.
they pulled a whatchamacallit, a World Cup.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Ginny and Harry have a cute little, like, exchange. This is maybe, like, the second conversation they've ever had as actual human beings with each other. And it's like, oh, he's comfortable with her. That's a great sign, because there are few of those people in this castle.
And he's not even noticing because he's an idiot, and she's
Because it's
just
so
that
organic.
good. Yeah,
It's so organic.
And
Oh my
also, he's an
God.
idiot.
Yeah.
This is mostly most of the credit for this goes to Ginny for acting on Hermione's advice and getting past her weird Harry thing.
Mm-hmm.
Good for you, Ginny. In terms of, like, real life execution, Ginny Weasley might be my number one favorite character in the series.
Yeah.
Like, she's maybe the only person in this series that I could know in real life.
Like, I just fully respect her, you know?
Yeah, every single moment of it.
She's also one of the few, like, really, like, real people, right? Like,
Yeah. Well, exactly. That's what I'm
because,
saying.
like, everyone
real
else
world.
has crazy eccentricities and, you know.
Or they're, like, nothing characters, like Harry fucking Potter.
Yeah.
Ginny's, like, vivid, and she has, like, backstory. She has trauma that we're familiar with, you know?
Mm-hmm. She's a powerful, powerful woman.
I'm actually going to pop in the show notes a link to one of my favorite Ginny Weasley fan arts of all time. I'm sorry that I don't remember the name of the artist right now, but it's really fucking beautiful, and the artist is incredible.
That also will be in the show notes.
What did I say?
It's,
Didn't I say it?
well, you said that the picture would be in the show notes, but just for all of
The artist will also be?
all of the internet pedants out there, yes, the artist will also be in the show notes.
Well, obviously, it'll be linked to their Instagram so that you can go see all the cool art, but there's
That's
this
not
one
good
Ginny
enough.
Weasley
You gotta
portrait.
say the name. It's
Oh my god, I'm gonna do
Internet pedants.
everything! It's the handle is the name! Okay, anyway. Ginny says that when Harry's back on the team, she wants to be the chaser because a lot of the chasers are leaving next year. So I guess our girl's just athletic. Can't relate, but I respect and admire it.
Yeah.
She's got other shit going on.
I love Ginny and Angelina. They both have the syllable gin in their name. Isn't that funny?
Oh, yeah.
No, it's Angelina. Okay, I got my letters mixed up.
Angelina.
It's not far off.
I was just gonna go along with it.
They're just athletic. I love our strong Gryffindor girls. Harry goes to bed, and he's like, I'm tired and I don't feel good. Which, for me, so when I'm like, I'm tired, I'm nauseous, I don't feel quite right, my brain's like, I'm pregnant. When Harry's like, I'm nauseous, I don't feel good, he's like, I'm possessed by Voldemort.
Not that far off.
I kind of want to see the series where Harry thinks I'm pregnant when he feels that way.
That's Haley Potter.
That's Haley Potter, yeah.
You know, thinking you're pregnant is just a part of my personal cis womanhood experience. It's like, this is just a ritual we go through.
Yep.
Okay, so Harry goes to bed. He's having this dream.
He's supposed to be clearing his mind, but
But
Snape
he's
is
just mad.
the worst yoga instructor of all time. This is why, like, this whole chapter, not even just the romance stuff, but, like, also just, like, everything that people keep, like, especially Snape, keep, like, telling him, do this thing. And he's like, okay, how? Do it! Okay, but how? Do it!
Okay, so that reminds me of one time when I was taking a world literature class in college, and it was all translated poetry, which, like, poetry's just not something that I connect with. And my teacher would do those quizzes at the beginning of every class where she would test to see if we had read it by asking us stuff about the poem. And, like, no matter how many times I read it, I, like, always failed these quizzes because I don't understand poetry. It, like, does not work in my brain. And I went to see her in her office hours, and I was like, what do you recommend for this? And she's like, just need to read it more. And I was like, yo, I'm actually already reading it, like, 4 times, like, before class, you know? And She was like, you just need to read it more. And and then I failed that class, and then I took it with another teacher and got an A. So I feel like that's what Snape's doing right now.
Well,
Yeah.
and, like, to Snape's defense, though, he's the worst yoga instructor possible and all that jazz. But, like, Harry hasn't bought a single t-shirt, and so that's kind of on him. He's not really gonna, like, you know, hit that next level until he at least buys a t-shirt. Maybe a CD, you know, a CD of yoga
Maybe a
noises.
t-shirt.
Andrew was implying that Snape is running a multi-level marketing scheme with some kind of essential oils bullshit and deep breathing exercises.
The worst yoga instructors always have fucking shit for sale. They always are like...
They're always involved in a multi-level marketing scheme, yeah.
Sorry, I got really distracted by a message from Sam. Shout out to our beloved friend Sam.
Hi,
I'll
Sam.
answer you later.
I will say on here.
Okay. Harry's dreaming about the corridor. Like, what do you think?
Like, here's my question. Usually I'm pretty good about picking up on, like, the stupid minutia of these books because hyperfocus. But
Okay.
has anyone actually explained to Harry at any point that, like, not only can Voldy, like, read his mind, he could potentially, like, put fake shit in there? Has anyone been like, hey,
No.
this is, okay, yes, someone should have brought that up. Someone should have fucking brought that up.
They're like, don't allow it. And it's like, okay, but like, what if
Yeah, like,
I literally cannot help it? Like, what do you
like,
recommend?
what are the actual risks? What should I be on the lookout for in case I can't do this
Nobody
exactly
ever-
the way you want? Well, maybe just, like, do it exactly the way that I want, and that won't be a problem, and you won't have to worry about it.
Yes, every caregiver at every turn fails to explain anything to this child, and he never learns anything because of it. You feel me?
We haven't taught him anything, and he won't learn anything.
And that is the ADHD experience, and that's why I'm fucking saying, I'm not, maybe it's possible. That's all I'm saying, maybe it's possible. The boy might need Adderall.
He needs something. I mean, he needs something, don't we all?
Yeah.
They don't even go to the doctor. Sorry, like they don't do anything.
Do they have weed? Do they have weed?
No. I'm thinking about the things that because I'm like, okay, I take like birth control. I have like hypertension medication. I take allergy medication. Like, are people in the magical world? Like, are there potions only? What if you're not good at brewing potions? Like, do they have medications? Can you go to like a wizard, like a magical pharmacy, and get like a file of potion?
Surely you must be able to buy pre-prepared potions.
Oh, yeah.
But like, how burdensome. Like, I can have like 90 days of my fucking little birth control pills in like a little rectangle. But how burdensome to have like a rack of potion? Like little files, because they have to be measured out. Are you going to measure it out anew every night? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry that I'm tripping about this right now.
I mean, I'm picturing a big rack of little potions, and I mean, that's kind of my dream. Not
like
gonna
when
lie.
I do my Bloody Mary shooters, it's like that in the little files.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think a more elegant solution would be a post-coital spell of some sort. Not a preventative potion.
An Avada Kedavra. But like for the baby.
You gotta have like very precise aim is the only thing.
You just gotta banish the semen, that's all.
Semen of banishmenta.
No, you can't. No, there's like whole pamphlets actually in St. Mungo's about like using Scourgify on your junk might seem like a good idea. But it's just like using soap in a douche. It's just going to throw off your pH and it's going to make everything worse.
Oh my god.
You could summon it out.
Okay, so now I know that we need to do like a health and wellness episode of our bonus show over on the restricted section detention crew.
Make Alex do it. Make Alex do it.
Okay, that sounds great. Okay, I must move us on. Here he is, the dream. He's about to open the door. Ron snorts and wakes him up. Okay, done. Okay. Okay, well, first of all, I'm so sorry. I cannot sleep with a snorer at all. When Sean's snoring, he gets the old puncharoo. I'm like, wake up, you're snoring.
I've been known to kick Brooke. It's happened.
Oh, Brooke. Oh, Brooke.
We've been on vacation together. I did what I had to do.
I'm least scared of Haley out of the two of those people. So when we went on our vacation, I was like, Haley, are you like a big snorer? And you were like, no, it's not me.
You must face the dragon if you want this prize.
Oh my god. People snore. That's really normal, but I absolutely cannot abide it. It's been like a deal breaker with men before. You know, it's like I can't live like this.
I see no future here where I get 8 hours of sleep and therefore no future at all.
Yeah, my best friend Adrian's a pretty big honking snorer, but I've learned to swerve that at this point, you know. It's like, I'll bunk with anyone except her
Certain
on the
people
trip.
you just don't share a room with. And sometimes you learn that the hard way.
It's true. Anyway, I love all my friends, whether you snore or not. Okay, Monday morning, Harry goes down to breakfast, and there are so many owls for him.
It's a flock.
He's
a regular flock for him.
So casually keeping them out of his food, and
it says, what's the word that it says, Haley? It says like lackadaisically or something like really silly like
he
that.
like languidly removes.
Languidly.
Yeah, no, I underlined that because like all I can think of is, was it when we talked to Courtney in book 2 when Hagrid had like the chicken, he was carrying the chicken and Court was like, I just want to mention as someone who used to be a veterinary professional, that Hagrid is covered in mites. Birds are filthy.
Ew.
Yeah, that's all I can think about now.
Birds are filthy.
They are filthy.
No, it's fine. I know a bird. He's really nice.
I know a bird. I have a bird in my life.
Even though Zach was like, do not put your fingers in there.
Yeah, because they're filthy.
No, it's because he's a
biter.
Bonker. I'm trying to make it cuter than bite. He's like a little nibbler. Okay, but actually a group of owls is not called a flock. It's called a parliament.
Which I love.
I knew that.
Yeah, a parliament of owls. Okay, so the leader of parliament, what do they call that person?
I think the prime minister? It depends.
The prime minister of owls is holding the Quibbler. And it has the article that Harry interviewed for. All the other owls are from readers of that newspaper that's being delivered this morning. So owls are quick.
Well, certain owls are quick. This one that delivered it to him appears to be rather slow compared to the other ones.
He's the prime minister. He's been slowed down with prime minister duties.
Do you guys remember the first chapter of Half-Blood Prince with the prime ministers?
Yes!
Isn't that such a fun chapter?
The two prime ministers.
Yeah.
That is a good one.
That's all I remember of that entire book. The two prime ministers and then Harry accidentally making out with Ginny in front of Ron. Those are the only two things I remember. Anyway, okay, so listen. There's all these letters from readers of his interview in the Quibbler. Some of them are nice, some of them are mean, and some of them are confused.
And some of them might have nudes.
Yeah, that's implied.
Oh,
yeah.
Wait, what is that? Can you read it?
Another one who thinks you're barking, said Ron, throwing a crumpled letter over one shoulder. But this one says you've got her converted, and she thinks you're a real hero. She's put in a photograph, too. Wow.
Oh, I wish you guys could see Haley's little head expression when she did that. She looked like she was beholding an unexpected, but not altogether unimpressive nude.
I like to go in for a little bit of theatrics.
Okay, so Umbridge comes over, and I'm too many chapters with Umbridge. I'm done with it. I never want to see this bitch again. Toxic relationships, you have to just let some people go, and I understand that they go to the school and they are not in a position of power to do so, but like, damn, I am so sick of Dolores Umbridge being in my fucking life. Hold on, Dolores Umbridge, I've been thinking about this dumb fucking bitch since fucking October 12th, 2022, when we first talked about her in the books.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute, huh?
Dolores fucking Umbridge comes over and is like, "What's up?" in like her horrifying voice.
What's up, fellow kids?
Hello, children. Except it's supposed to be high pitched.
So then Harry, who does not give a shit anymore at all, is like, I did this interview in the Quibbler here, bitch.
Read my press. And he just tosses a fucking magazine at her.
Have your people call my people.
He does have like 2 seconds of hesitation, like, oh, wish I could avoid this. And then decides, like, actually, you know what? I didn't break a single fucking rule.
Yeah.
Yet, until there's more rules. Children love rules, so she's really doing the right thing by just
she's killing
doing rules only and nothing else.
By it, Andrew means the spirit of childhood.
Yep.
Okay, so Umbridge bans Harry from Hogsmeade. She takes 50 points from Gryffindor, and she gives him another week's detention. And he doesn't... There's not even one single line that describes his reaction to this because it's like we're beyond caring.
Remember when that was the biggest fucking deal? Losing 50 points.
Oh yeah,
we lost 50 whole points.
And Sorcerer's Stone when they lose 50 points because of was it the troll?
It was the dragon. It was they were caught up on the
the
tower.
dragon.
They didn't even get caught with the dragon. They were just punished for being out at night.
Yeah. Oh, McGonagall was for real with that one. Okay. Soon there's another decree posted. Guess what? Anyone who has a copy of the Quibbler is banished. I don't know. What does it say? They're punished. Expelled.
You're done!
And Hermione is like... And honestly, good for Hermione. Because Hermione's like, this is like the best thing she could do for us is banning this. Because she's an enemy of everyone at the school.
I feel like I've said this, like, possibly in this book, but, like, it's so tragic that Hermione is such a born anarchist when she's so lawful at heart.
I get it, though.
Because, like, she's strategizing. She's a political strategist in this book. It's great.
Yeah, she's really good about it. She's doing a lot. Actually, Hermione's doing everything. I realize every book. She's actually doing everything. She could actually completely ditch Harry and Ron.
At this age, Hermione could quit school and become a magical talent agent and rule the fucking world, like, within 3 years.
She could do everything. Anything she wanted to, and she fucking marries Ronald Weasley and works for the government? Is that right? Is that what she does?
I believe so.
I'm sure
what does she do?
I'm sure she becomes minister at some point.
No, that can't be right.
I know for a fact that
woman.
she ends up working for Hellself rights on a legislative level, so there's that.
Okay, well, that is good. Okay. Everyone's all abuzz about Harry. The teachers are, like, subtly showing support. Is it Sprout who he, like, hands her something and she's, like, 20 points to Gryffindor?
Yep, it's a watering can. Yeah.
A watering can. He's like, fuck yeah. That reminds me of my civics teacher in high school. She was like, oh my god, I love your necklace. And I was like, thanks. I bought it at Kohl's. Because that was the only place I shopped at the time. And she was like, oh my god, being a consumer, that's extra credit. Good for you. She was a little bonkers.
Most civics teachers are.
Fluid gives him some candy.
Yep.
Sugar mice. Cho
comes up to him, says how brave he was, holds his hand, and kisses his cheek.
And also tells him that the article made her cry, which, babe, you know that's not a high bar. We all know that's not a high bar.
What does he say? He wait, read it, Haley.
He was sorry to hear that she'd shed even more tears over it, but very glad they were on speaking terms again, and even more pleased when she gave him a swift kiss on the cheek and hurried off again.
Wow. Show me a protagonist who does less than Harry Potter. I don't know. So then Seamus Finnegan also comes up and, like, they have a similar reconciliation with less kissing, as ostensibly. I'm not sure. It doesn't go into detail.
Or eye contact.
But Harry's, like, very happy about it.
Yay, I've got my bro back.
I love Seamus's little thing about, yeah, I sent a copy to my mom. I think she needs to read this. And it's like, what? Just write her a letter, dude. Just write her a letter.
It's okay.
I don't know.
He's doing his best.
I sent this random magazine to my mom. I think that'll change her mind. My mother is not a clever woman. It takes one little magazine.
Maybe he just means he's making his stance known to her. He's like, I stand with my friend. Here's this article. Read it or weep, bitch. So Harry Potter goes to bed with a headache. Guess what? He's having a vision.
Is it about a door?
Well, is there a door? I don't know. I just wrote down
Actually, at this point,
he is Lord Voldemort is what I wrote down. Is there a door for a moment?
No, the door comes later.
No, you're right. There's a dude kneeling in the middle of a room. He just wandered in on something that no one was supposed to see.
It was pornography. No, it's Lord Voldemort with one of his genuflectors, who is presently genuflecting. Who is it in this scene? It's Rookwood. Okay, I actually didn't write that down. My whole brain had to try to remember that.
I think it is. Yeah.
He's mad at Avery, and Rookwood is like, Avery doesn't even know what he was talking about. I know how you can, like, do this thing. Wink.
He's like, oh my god, let me tell you. I'm the person you should have been dealing with. Because I'm your best little man.
He's been trying to send in, like, randos to the Department of Mysteries, but it seems like none of them could have done it, you know? So we were talking about, in the last episode, we heard about Sturgis No.
Yeah, Sturgis Podmore.
Broderick
Bode and Sturgis Podmore.
No, last episode was only Broderick Bode. And then it was like 3 or 4 episodes that we were talking about, maybe up to 10 episodes. I'm actually not keeping track. Though we were talking about Sturgis Podmore. Last episode, I was like, I feel like there was 2 guys, but the only one I can think of right now is Broderick Bode. But Sturgis Podmore is included in that list. They're trying to send in people to get the thing, but they can't get the thing. Guess what? It's the prophecy that has Harry Potter's name on it, and apparently, like, only Harry Potter or Lord Voldemort, right?
Yep.
Or Neville.
No.
Technically, either Harry Potter or Lord Voldemort.
Okay, because it's like Harry Potter ? Right? Because it could be Neville.
Yeah, true.
What if Neville tried to take it down and it worked? Oh my god.
Then he would have. Well, no.
Okay.
No,
Anyway.
because Voldemort marked Harry. That's part of the prophecies. He chose.
Okay.
So.
Well, we'll get there. We don't know anything about a prophecy yet. Don't ask me to remember.
Currently, we just think it's a weapon, which is the most useless fucking misdirect in the history of literature. Not really, but in the history of this book series.
Yeah. And then Voldy Harry looks in the mirror, and Harry is like, no, I'm Voldy. And then he wakes up, and it's like 3 minutes later.
OMFG, no! My scar hurts!
Damn it, I have to go back to sleep.
Ron has like just come in for the night, and Harry's like tangled up in his bed things, and Ron's untangling him, and it's really cute.
Oh, and Ron's all traumatized. Like, is it Dad? Is it the snake again?
Yeah. Who died? Tell me who died.
But like, how reassuring for Harry to wake up to Ron, you know, and like nobody else is there yet. That's very reassuring.
Yes.
If I was having a moment and I came to and like one of my bestest friends was there, I would be like, thank God, anything could happen to me now.
Am I Voldemort? I don't want to be Voldemort.
Okay. The next morning they like tell Hermione about it. Hermione's the one who's like, Bode, Sturgis, Broderick Bode, Sturgis Podmore. It's all coming together just like I did like 2 minutes ago. But then Hermione is like, Harry, you shouldn't have seen any of this and just ignore it. My notes say, and he needs to do. And that's the end of what my notes.
Yeah, Hermione is basically turning to Harry right now and going, calm down. Calm down.
It has to be infuriating. It has to be absolutely infuriating to hear this.
This is yet another moment where I'm like, ADHD vibes. Just a little bit of like, you should know this by now. You shouldn't even be doing this right now. Like, I'm like, thank you for telling me, but also I'm going to punish you for telling me. Fuck you.
Quote, the week did not improve as it progressed.
I didn't realize this book was written in 2020. Sorry.
There's a smash cut and Joanne. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. I just learned today her name is J.K. Rowling.
Oh, shit. Fuck.
Right.
I feel embarrassed.
She drops this in media res, and she doesn't even use a dramatic section break. At least my version didn't have a dramatic section break. That's very...
Mine doesn't either.
It's very common in, like, YA middle grade books to, like, have a dramatic section break.
There's a lot of trailing off with ellipses in this chapter,
oh my
too.
God, stop. I cannot... Oh my God, here's the thing. Every single time you ever write an ellipses in your life, ask yourself, why did I write down these ellipses? If you wrote down that ellipses because you are too lazy to type the rest of what you were going to say, that's a good reason to use ellipses. If you're using an ellipses to end a sentence, that should be a period. I'm not here to negotiate. I cannot with the ellipses. So many people in their first drafts that they send me, ellipses, ellipses, ellipses.
But how else do I use the words, or how else do I avoid using the words "they trailed off"?
I'm trying to remember what episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine you should be putting a bit of dialogue in here of Captain Holt saying,
Apparently that's a trigger for me.
Yeah, apparently.
So it's Harry. He's failing at occlumency. Andrew, can you pronounce that word for me?
Occlumency?
People keep doing this thing where they put an extra U in there. It's like spelled like
Occlumency?
OCCLUMENCY. Yeah. Everyone puts an extra U in there. Haley, what do you say?
my mom always said occlumency. I said passing the buck to mother.
I still want to get your mom on the pod, Haley.
I am trying to remember to bring my thing so she can at least record a bonus episode.
Microphone.
Microphone, that one.
It's called. Okay, we'll work on it. They're like penetrating each other's minds back and forth. I swear to God, that is the book's language. They said that language. I'm sorry, J.K. Rowling said that language. Harry's in trouble when Snape sees a memory in his head that was actually Voldemort's, right? The dream from last night.
Well, Harry sees a couple of Snape's memories, and then Snape gets pissy about it, and then sees the Voldemort memory, because he is like, hey, fuck you, small child.
I get it.
Only I get to invade your deepest thoughts and fears and scary memories, okay?
And then not change my opinion about you, after clearly seeing that you were abused anyway.
I just feel like the student-teacher relationship should be preserved at all costs, and being like deeply mentally intimate with one another is like not in the pursuit of preserving that relationship.
Yeah. What's the Professor X problem? It's like
I am actually not familiar with. Is that Teen Titans? Just kidding. I know. I'm not familiar with X-Men at all.
For just a second, you genuinely had me. Well, no, but like there's a big thing. Like if you ever actually think about his power, like it's really fucked up that he just invades his characters' minds because all of his characters are fucking kids.
Children.
Yeah,
I actually did recently watch Teen Titans Go to the movies because Nicolas Cage voiced as a character in that movie.
What?
Yeah, Superman, actually. Can you fucking believe it?
Superman.
Absolutely not.
Superman?
He was actually
Straight up Superman.
He was going to play Superman back in the day too.
Back in what day?
He was going to play a lot of characters that you don't want to know about, like Aragorn. We don't.
No, I know about that. I know about that. That's nuts, but I know about it. Superman?
Yeah, Kevin Smith was actually the one who wrote the script for it, and then it ended up getting scrapped. But the big scene that the producer fought for was that he wanted Superman to fight a giant spider at the end of the movie. And that
oh
same
my god,
producer,
I remember this story.
That same producer the next year came out with a movie called Wild Wild West.
Which features a giant spider.
Nick Cage was signed on, and apparently, I can't remember if you can find him or not, but apparently he did costuming pictures with the Superman suit on. It does
those
not
are in the
look
show
good.
notes if they exist.
If they exist. If I remember seeing them, but I could be wrong.
Please, God,
okay.
Let them exist.
So Snape comes at Harry again. Harry manages to cast Protego, and then he goes into Snape's memory.
Whoa! Plot twist.
It's not, spoiler alert, it's not good.
Shit's rough.
It's a rough fact there. Okay, they try again. Now he's in the Department of Mysteries, and the door opens, and there's a weird circular room on the other side. And then Snape is like, what the fuck was that?
Nothing. Nothing.
What the fuck was that I just saw in your stupid brain?
Harry completely reacts like a kid who had like porn found in their room. Like, or no, you know the clip where the guy's mom opens up the box and he's like, I think it's an Xbox controller, and she opens it up and it's a bong. Have you all seen that clip?
No, but that's fantastic.
It's the same energy that Harry has here, because Snape's like, what was that? And he's like, I don't, what even is a memory? I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so they're fighting. They're bitch fighting. Harry's like, why do you call Voldemort the Dark Lord when only the Death Eaters do that? And then there's a scream. Like that.
This is the kind of shit that makes me wonder, like, how big or not big is this castle actually? Like, you're in the dungeon and you heard someone scream from the foyer?
It's from, I think, Filch's office and Snape's office that they do hear a couple things up in the entrance hall. So I almost feel like both Filch's office and Snape's office are, like, at the top of the dungeons. You know what I mean? Like, right by easy access to everything.
All right.
That's possible. Can I give you another theory?
What?
J.K. Rowling's really bad at writing.
Okay, well...
and doesn't consistently keep the size of the castle the same.
Have we circled back to calling her by her actual literal name?
I don't care.
Now we're just being shitty about it.
Because as a reminder, her name is J.K. Rowling.
Josephine.
It feels
Nolan
bad
Hyde.
coming out of my mouth. Like, I want to
just
do
a joke
anything
Rowling,
other than
right?
say her name.
Just a joke.
Just a joke Rowling.
I'm a fan of that.
Okay. Should we call her JJR?
I'm down.
That's too close to JRR. I don't think we should.
No, JJR is totally different. This will cause no problems that I can foresee.
Anyway, tell us what you think we should call this woman. I'll do anything at this point. Hit us up on Twitter or tell me in the Discord because you should be a part of the Discord. La la. First of all, there's $1 money.
Or were those words?
Patreon. Absolutely not. Okay.
Runaway train, never going back.
Okay, there's a scream. Haley, do a scream. Haley.
Knowing what's about to come, that is about the worst scream.
I don't scream.
If you need help, you need a better scream than that.
I don't scream, man. I don't You've heard. Okay, there was one time, there was a windstorm. We'd all gotten alerts on our phones. I live on the second floor. There's a myrtle tree out front, and it's, like, just kind of going sideways across my balcony, and I'm, like, filming it while it's, like, at its worst, and, like, it's kind of lunging across the top of the roof, and there's this murmur where I just go, oh, dear God. Which was me in a moment of genuine, like, oh, no, I'm scared. And I sent it to the group chat, and everyone else is just laughing about my quote-unquote calm, oh dear God.
Oh dear God.
So, all I'm saying is, it's not that I don't get alarmed, I just don't make noises about it.
There's an episode of Bob's Burgers where they're in peril. They're in quicksand, actually, to be specific. And Tina and Louise are like, louder!
I can't, but I'll add gestures.
That's me and Sean trying to get the attention of a crowd at a party.
I don't know how many times in my life I've whispered to Sean, she can't hear your little voice, babe.
Yep.
It's drunk Trelawney being kicked out. So I feel like the scream that they hear is like Trelawney has already been like thrown into the main hall, and like Umbridge like sends like one of her suitcases out after her, like aggressively with magic. And I feel like Trelawney's like,
that is implied.
It's implied. So I feel like Trelawney's like, ah! And like backs away from it because she's kind of shit-faced and scared for her life bodily, you know?
We've all been there.
Snape and Harry like both rush up to the Great Hall, like everything's over. We're just seeing what this is now. Trelawney, she's drunk. She has a bottle of sherry in her hand. I'm going to add her to the drunk teacher count. She is being fired and kicked out of the castle, and there's a lot of onlookers, and no one at the beginning is helping her at all. She's just like in the middle of a circle, having her life ruined.
And to like do this in front of the kids is the fucked up part. That's like,
yes, it's like
nothing.
So over the top. It's like humiliating.
I've never hidden the fact that I'm not a fan of Trelawney, but that's just fucked up. Like,
it's just not how you treat someone at all. That's not how you treat like literal human beings.
It's a little person trying to make a show of force.
Exactly, and it's like by picking off the weakest link at this school.
Yep.
Yeah, that's how they do it.
Hagrid comes next, but like only with like a backup army in the middle of the night.
They do it in the middle of the night because they're actually scared of Hagrid. This is a little person trying to make herself feel big.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, McGonagall goes to comfort Trelawney, and she's like, "You're not gonna have to leave." And Umbridge's just like, "Oh, she won't? How so?" And then Dumbledore shows up, and it's like kind of dramatic. It's kind of cool.
Of course, it's dramatic.
We're mad at him.
He's coming in from outside. No one knows what he was doing outside. He's just arriving in the nick of time, framed by the open doors that he leaves open behind him because it's his castle. They'll close when he fucking says they close. Drama!
Do you think that he was in the woods? Okay, so it's Firenze. Okay, do you think he was in the woods talking to the centaur, and then he was like, he like heard something or sensed something, and he was like, I need to start walking back to the school now, like 15 minutes ago. Do you think that's what?
I think Dumbledore knows a lot about what comes into his castle, and I think that when that letter was sent that said that, you know, it was time to fire Trelawney, or that she got the permission to fire or whatever, I think Dumbledore knew and immediately knew he had to fill the position. So he probably had this.
So he went right down.
He would have known that this was coming, right? Like,
Okay.
he knew that this was something that was going to happen. So I think.
And he happened to get back to the school at the exact right moment just because of the drama.
Like, that's kind of the thing. Because, like, no, I think you're right, Andrew, but, like, the timing is kind of the question. Because, like, did he talk to Firenze, like, before this and was like, all right, you just, like, hang out near the castle and, like, I will let you know when it's time that we're going to
deep into the woods. Be like, Firenze, I have a proposition.
Well, like, isn't Firenze kind of, like, fucked up also from, like, getting the shit kicked out of him by the other centaurs for coming to work for Dumbledore? So, the timeline is a very legitimate question because, like, how far in advance did Dumbledore know, and, like, how much, like, scrambling has he been doing behind the scenes to make this whole scene pull itself off?
Well, okay, so it's probably, if Umbridge was going to fire someone, which seemed likely she would go for the easiest one, who is definitely Trelawney. So I feel like maybe Dumbledore has been ready for this inevitability for a long time.
Yeah.
He went to talk to Firenze, or maybe, like, the centaurs, because is Firenze the one who helped Harry in the first book?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So maybe they have a special friendship, but I feel like they were both ready for this, and I feel like Firenze has been living by himself near the castle waiting to be needed. Because you're right that it looked like he had been beat up, but not all of that could have happened this evening.
Right.
Or the timing is bad because J.K. Rowling is a bad writer.
That is always a possibility.
It's always a possibility. It's definitely not always the answer, for sure. Sometimes there's, like, a perfectly good answer. But we can't forget that is an option at every turn.
Well, and to be honest, as much, I don't think Dumbledore would have foreseen Umbridge's method of firing Trelawney. I don't think even he would have predicted that she would do it in such a disgusting
really
way.
rude way, yeah, disrespectful.
I think he probably could have foreseen it being public, but I don't think he foresaw it being disgusting.
Yeah,
and
it's
so
really bad.
I wouldn't put it past him to have prepared so that he could gather Firenze quickly. But as far as, like, the exact, moment, I think you'd have to just chalk that up to, like, coincidental timing.
Okay.
Because, like, Firenze definitely got the shit kicked out of him recently.
I wouldn't be surprised if Dumbledore was, like, looking out for because, like, let's be honest, there's no way that Umbridge goes all the way to the Owlry, right? So, like, she definitely has house elves go and get her the mail. Mm-hmm. So I'm willing to bet if my headcanon would be, or my no prize would be, that Dumbledore told the house elves, like, when something comes from the ministry for Umbridge, let me know. Mm-hmm. And that's when he went out to get Firenze. And then in the time that it took for him to go gather Firenze is the time that it took for them to get to the Great Hall.
Well, Andrew, now that you bring that up, that would have been a fantastic opportunity to let the house elves be contributing characters with their own storyline. Too bad.
Hold on. One thing about that, too. Can we all recognize that the house elves who control and monitor and clean all these dorms, they don't fucking snitch. Not a single kid gets expelled for having a quibbler. They'd know. They'd know every single kid that had one. And not a single motherfucker is no, because
they're loyal to Dumbledore just like every other idiot in this fucking book series.
But they ain't snitches, is the point.
I was gonna say, I'm just imagining that they're not snitches, man. House elves be real. They don't fucking snitch.
Okay, so Professor Sprout and McGonagall take Trelawney by the arm. Flitwick gets her luggage, and they all, as like a show of force, as like the leadership of Hogwarts, take her upstairs back to her room at Dumbledore's orders.
Yes.
Umbridge is like, I kicked out your fucking divination teacher, bitch. And Dumbledore's like, cool, I got a teacher. And Umbridge is like, I don't think you understand. I kicked out your teacher. That means I get to do a teacher. And he's like, no, you get to do a teacher if I don't do a teacher right away who's good and qualified. So guess what? Quote, Harry heard hooves.
I'm familiar with the law, Umbridge. I helped write it.
What a good line. That's just fun.
Yeah, that's what he did. He outmaneuvered her because of the wording of the law, which is very specific.
Yeah,
we love that.
Not a lot of people know this about Dumbledore, but at one point in like the in-between times between like schooling and being a teacher, he actually got an English degree.
Oxford English degree.
Of course, Oxford.
The hooves, they belong to Firenze.
Yep.
Can I just ask, centaurs are anatomically horses,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Just a big swinging dick in the high school. Is that what you're about to say?
Yeah.
I feel like, okay, here's the thing about horses though, is that like they're not always like that. Like it's mostly just like when they pee or when they bang. So all he has to do is hold it.
Okay. Because I was just concerned.
No, it's like when
there'd still be a big honking dick.
Well, no, like if you've seen like a regular horse, like you don't regularly see horses walking around looking like they got 5 legs, and that's for a reason. Like when it's all tucked away, it's all tucked away. You kind of can't tell.
Interesting.
It's only when they are using it that it turns into a garden hose.
Yeah, humans' dongles don't tuck away so good.
Which I think is a design flaw on our part.
It is. I absolutely agree. When you look at those things, you're like, whoa.
What
idea was this?
It just looks unsafe. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, I have a note to myself to circle back to the title. Seen and Unforeseen. What was the thing that was seen?
Because Umbridge has her shitty little line here about like, you're so bad at as a seer that you couldn't, or I know that you can't actually see anything, but how could you not see this coming just from not your lack of improvement or whatever?
So that's what the unforeseen is.
Yeah, is the firing being the unforeseen.
Well, what's seen?
The shit
firing, yeah.
I think the stuff that's seen is the shit that Harry keeps seeing. Yeah. That he's not supposed to be seeing. It's not the best of analogies.
And then unforeseen
is Trelawney not foreseeing her own.
Not foreseeing.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm glad I circled back to the title.
We're doing great.
Yay.
Andrew, did you have any last words about the chapter? We're at the end here.
No.
Okay, cool. Haley, what about you?
Not really about the chapter, just I did have something of an epiphany last night, kind of reading up to this point that I think the reason the last 2 books, and like a lot of this book also, don't work as well as the first few is that, like a lot of franchised series, it starts off as like a fun thing with like characters exploring this interesting, cool world. And then a little more than halfway through, it gets way too into the lore and kind of lets the characters be caricatures of themselves. And I think that happened with Harry Potter. I think that's why book 6 is the way that it is. And
dude, I don't remember any of it.
Exactly.
I'm excited to get to it.
Yeah.
I would love to read that instead of this, though, honestly.
But no, those are my only thoughts. I just thought I'd share since it occurred to me.
Okay, cool. Let's do plugs. Andrew, what have you been watching or reading or listening to lately that you think our listeners would enjoy?
I think our listeners would enjoy BB because I've become obsessed with BB. She's fucking amazing. It's a Korean R&B /rapper, R&B artist /rapper. This is not K-pop. It's not K-pop. She does these like music videos for her most recent album that are just they're like short films that are just dark and moody and amazing in every way. So I highly recommend just look up like BB Vengeance is the first one. And then you'll be able to just jump around from there. But she's just awesome.
Thank you. Wonderful. I always need more music to listen to, like all day long while I work from home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Haley, what are you plugging today?
Hello, I'm Haley. Hi,
Haley.
I am Haley. I'm a podcaster. I'm not a podcaster. I am not a podcaster. I'm on a podcast, and there's a key difference.
I tried to teach her how to edit, but she
I was going to say
listen.
the difference is editing.
She wouldn't listen.
Well, you didn't tell me what time the lesson was, and I slept through it. Sorry.
Oh my god, that was so long ago, but you're right. That's exactly what happened. That was literally like 3 or 4 years ago.
I know. I've told you. Ridiculous memory for absolutely useless things. Anyway, I'm plugging Love Pop.
Okay.
It is a stationery website. They make pop-up cards or paper flower bouquets. They're pretty damn affordable, especially compared to like actual flowers. And if you want to pay an extra couple of bucks, they'll print out like a message for you on a card and send it to the person of your choice. Whether that's a family member or, you know, a political figure that you want to be passive-aggressive to is up to you. I used it for the latter, but I'm also planning to use it for the former. So Love Pop.
Okay, wonderful.
I've used it for this, but I'm excited to try it for that.
I've been your host, Christina. You know where to find me. And today I'm gonna plug fucking Of the Eldest Gods. They just came back for their season 4 last week. They're starting book 4 of the Percy Jackson series, Battle of the Labyrinth, which is a really, really, really fun book, if you ask me. They're all really great, but I think each one gets kind of better. So, anyway, if you don't already listen to Of the Eldest Gods and you like Percy Jackson, you should fucking listen to it. And maybe you'll even hear my voice in the next 1 to 3 weeks.
What? What?
Thanks, guys, for doing this episode. I love and appreciate you both so much.
We love and appreciate you as well, especially when I'm a little fucked up and Andrew gets to deal with us.
Yay!
Yeah, special shout out to Andrew. We warned him about the margaritas, though, like 6 hours ago.
I knew what I was getting into.
He was a consensual designated podcast driver.
And that's the end of the episode.
Woohoo!
Bye!
That's literally how the episodes end these days.
Great. Love that for you.
That's it, potheads. Thanks for listening to the Restricted section. This podcast is produced and hosted by me, Christina Kahn. Our theme music was produced by Ryan Kahn. Our logo was designed by Michael Hardison. Please connect with us on Twitter @RestrictedPod, on Instagram @RestrictedSectionPod, on Facebook @RestrictedSectionPod, or in our Facebook group, The Restricted Section Detention Crew. Join our Patreon to get access to our Discord server, our bonus episodes, and other cool perks. We're also very happy to be a member of Deus Ex Media, where all you fucking nerds can find all kinds of fandom podcasts to suit your fancy.
This season on Of the Eldest Gods,
we make our way through the maze of...
Labyrinth.
Yeah, Labyrinth, whatever. And we tell you all about the next book in the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series.
And explain the myth context as we go along.
So, the whole stuck in a maze thing is just a gimmick for this book, right?
Yeah, sure, Ray.
Hey, Charlie! Where the fuck are we?
Only you can save us from the labyrinth by listening to our podcast.
Help!
I think Dumbledore's a bottom, for sure. Why? Because he's frail. No, he just obviously. What's his name? Johnny Depp.
Grindelwald.
Grindelwald is obviously a top.